Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for April 21st, 2021. Walt Disney World has filed a permit indicating that a new cast member entrance will be built between the Transportation and Ticket Center and Disney's Polynesian Village Resort off of Seven Seas Drive. This will replace the old Floridian Way entrance for Polynesian cast members who have to park at the Transportation and Ticket Center. The permit lists mechanical work in the northwest corner of the Transportation and Ticket Center parking lot, which cast members have been using as a temporary entrance while construction continues in the area. Multiple ramps are being built for Floridian Way and World Drive to improve traffic flow around the Magic Kingdom area. The new cast member entrance won't impact guest parking. Another COVID-19 safety procedure has been updated. Disney changed their website to reflect the new protocol, allowing guests to use self-service stations to fill their refillable mugs and to fill beverages. Previously, guests had to be served by cast members since the parks reopened last summer, but now fill your own. We saw this at many places. At Contempo Cafe, we were allowed to fill our own drink. At a couple of theme park places we were, specifically Regal Eagle. But there were places that we were not able to do this yet. At Contempo Cafe, at least, they had quite the process in effect where you had to use hand sanitizer first. Then you could grab a cup, and then you could fill it. Obviously, if you already have your refillable resort mug, you don't need to grab a cup. But yeah, and unlike, I think it was a Universal thing, I believe. Originally, they wouldn't, or Disney wouldn't do it either. But at Universal, you could fill your own cup. They're not making you grab a new cup either, so you can bring the cup you were using already back up. Of course, guests at Blizzard Beach at select locations have been able to use the rapid refill system for their water park reusable mugs since the park reopened in March at Blizzard Beach. So. Yeah, but it's nice to see it. Another little thing going back somewhat to normal. 3 of the most popular Magic Kingdom snack spots have finally added mobile order through the My Disney Experience app. As of today, guests may skip the line at Sunshine Tree Terrace in Adventureland, Sleepy Hollow Refreshments in Liberty Square, and the Friar's Nook in Fantasyland. We caught them getting ready for the offering this morning at the Sunshine Tree Terrace, home of the little orange bird. They were just setting up. It's very interesting. It's great. These are locations that sometimes get a very long line, so this is really a great offering. On top of that, over at Disney's Boardwalk, you can now order dishes from Trattoria Al Forno to go. I don't know if you want to. Trattoria Al Forno, not particularly one of my favorite restaurants, but nonetheless, if it's your cup of tea, breakfast and dinner are offered now through mobile order, again, through the My Disney Experience app. After finding the Up cookie jar at the Disneyland Resort last month, the colorful replica of Carl Fredricksen's house has flown into Walt Disney World. How cute is this? Inspired by Disney and Pixar's Up, this figural cookie jar will hold all of your favorite treats, unless they're Gideon's cookies, in which you could probably fit like 4. Maybe, I don't know. They're big. The entire second story of the ceramic cookie jar is the lid. The balloons can be used as a handle. I don't know about that. The jar contains, don't drop it. The jar contains a silicone gasket for a secure fit. We found the Up cookie jar at the Emporium at the Magic Kingdom for $54.99. It's also online now at Shop Disney. Disney's newest fashionable collection, Play in the Park, has arrived, featuring artwork from classic Disney attractions, characters, and icons. The Harvey's Bag collection is now available on Shop Disney at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland Resort. So head to any of those places if you want them. The finale of Marvel's latest Disney Plus hit, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, premieres this Friday the 23rd, but you can now drop into the Emporium at the Magic Kingdom to show your support with a limited edition Magic Band featuring the dynamic duo for $34.99. I thought Batman and Robin were the dynamic duo. Like the WandaVision Magic Band, the box is sleek with lots of Marvel imagery. One side features the Falcon, Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie. The other side with the Winter Soldier are James Bucky Barnes, played by Sebastian Stan. A Mickey head logo is done up in the red and blue colors of the 2 heroes. And on the back, there are spray paint versions of each hero's logo. The Magic Band itself is bright blue. One side features the show's slogan, "Who will wield the shield?" referring to Captain America's shield. And the other side showcases the show's logo as well as photos of both Sam and Bucky. James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy films, tweeted that filming has yet to begin for the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind attraction at EPCOT. The news comes as a response to a question about Gunn's busy filming schedule for this year. The pandemic has derailed a lot of filming in Hollywood, and along with that, the construction progress on the attraction. That being said, the ride was already being built before it was clear when a third Guardians of the Galaxy film would even be made. Obviously, that is when they would film the segments for the ride. In fact, the main story and the villain of the ride, or if there will even be one, weren't even nailed down yet when the attraction was announced a couple years ago. The decision early in development to cut away a fleet of audio animatronic figures from the ride wasn't just budgetary, it was also a way to make sure the attraction could be built without having to figure out exactly what the story might be or who might be in it when the thing would open. That's why everything's a projection. Attractions with projection-based scenes do have this luxury. Disney shared a first look at the ride vehicles last year, and while construction has continued on the attraction, no opening date has been announced. Part of the delays are not just construction, they're obviously the inability to get the cast together to do anything thanks to both the pandemic and the tumultuous production of the third film in the series, delayed by firing James Gunn. Then he went to work on Suicide Squad. Now he's back, but they're not filming yet. It's been a disaster. It's been a disaster, and we will have to wait to ride Disney's first indoor reverse launch roller coaster at EPCOT. We suspect next year, but nothing is set in stone yet. In order to continue replacing the pavement beneath Spaceship Earth at EPCOT, Pin Trading headquarters and the Camera Center are now closed. Construction walls surround the store's entrance. The pavement is being replaced to better match the rest of the EPCOT entrance. And also, we heard there's some wiring work being done down there, too. The construction walls point guests to different attractions. On the other side of the mirrored column, some planters block off the pavement. Green scrims surround some of the Spaceship Earth queue as well. And Gateway Gifts can be found selling pins right now while the Pin Trading headquarters will be closed for 3 weeks. One of the arms on the centerpiece ring of Harmonious has been partially covered with the same flexible screen material that some of the ring has been covered in. The gray material can be seen on the inner part of the arm. These arms will move around as part of the show and have been undergoing testing for the past few months. The screen material covers some of the industrial-looking arm for a slightly nicer look. The same material is stretched across the lower parts of the ring. We suspect we'll see more of this to hide the unappealing exposed nature of the structure. A new EPCOT poster for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. You know the thing we were just talking about that's not happening anytime soon? Well, it's available on Shop Disney. Several new prints of previous poster releases are also available, at least posters that were released in the old format. This Guardians poster is in the new, bigger, shiny format. Each item is limited to 10 per guest. EPCOT is, of course, about to host its first Otherworld Pavilion when the people of the planet of Xandar present their cultural and technological breakthroughs at this pavilion. And you can have a poster to celebrate this. It's a limited release item. It's $99, only available through April 30th, 2021. There's also a matted print version, if you like, for $39.99. I will say this again. I don't get anything. I have no connections to anyone involved in making these posters. But Cyclops, who makes these, actually owns one of the original printing machines that was used for real attraction posters. And for those of you unaware, attraction posters at the parks were printed in a very different way than they are now. Back then, they were beautifully printed in a way that gives them a lot of depth, a lot of great color. They're really beautiful, and these posters that you can own are in fact nicer than the ones that are under the train station at the Magic Kingdom. So if you really want something nice to display, these are printed the way real attraction posters were printed for decades early on in the lifespan of Disney parks. And they're really, really cool. So if one comes out that's an attraction you really love, I would tell you you should go for it. They're really beautiful pieces. When you frame them, they're really something to see. They're great. Let your imagination grow. A new Figment Magic Band has arrived at the Taste of the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival. This Magic Band is a limited edition of 2,500 and it's $34.99. The main color is purple and has flowers that dance around the band. The tail of the band has a Spaceship Earth-shaped topiary with flowers in it. And the top of the band has a green figment along with the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival logo. The band can be found at Port of Entry at Epcot. Goes hand in hand with the annual pass holder Magic Band that was released early on in the event. While Rainforest Cafe reopened with the rest of Animal Kingdom last July, the restaurant's entrance from inside the park remained closed. Guests can only reach the cafe from its entrance outside of Animal Kingdom, but now the archway is open once again, so guests can make their way either into the park from Rainforest Cafe or out of the park into Rainforest Cafe now. The entrance leads guests, of course, into a courtyard between the park and the restaurant. This is great to see. I love this little hidden entrance. It's great to use sometimes, and I know most people don't like the food. I'm okay with Rainforest Cafe. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. We used to go to the one in the Palisades Mall every Saturday. if that rings a bell for anybody. And so we love Rainforest Cafe. We actually just ate there this week. After testing a plexiglass divider on one boat last month, dividers have been installed on every single boat of the Navi River journey in Pandora, the world of Avatar, at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The dividers sit between each row of the two-row vehicle. So there's one piece of plexiglass between you and the people in front or behind you. So keep that in mind if you're heading on the attraction. A new Disney Cruise Line pop-up shop has arrived at Disney Springs. It's in the Marketplace Co-op. You could shop exclusive Disney Cruise Line merchandise from now until early September. Models of the Dream and Fantasy ships will be available for close-up viewing as well. The Cruise Line pop-up shop includes Loungefly and luggage collections, as well as new floral Minnie Mouse collection of apparel and accessories. And in fact, you could see pictures of all of that merchandise on our website. Also includes items from Castaway Cay, Disney Cruise Line's private island located in the Bahamas. Normally, this merchandise can only be bought on the island, but for the first time ever, it's available on land. Of course, cruises have been halted since March of 2020. Disney Cruise Line inspired drinks are also now available at Dockside Margaritas near Marketplace Co-op. We tried the Dockside Pina Colada for $16.75, but a Dockside Strawberry Daiquiri is also available. Both of these drinks come in a souvenir Disney Cruise Line glass featuring blue waves around the bottom and the Disney Cruise Line logo on the side. You can read the review on our website. Disneyland Resort has yet to reopen, but select guests were treated to a magical experience at the last A Touch of Disney event at California Adventure. Imagineers conducted a playtest of a potential new meet and greet experience with a life-size tiny Tinkerbell. Jen Tanaka posted her family's experience on Instagram. Her family was invited to participate after a chance encounter with a cast member. Her children were quote-unquote starstruck and enjoyed the experience. Playtests are a part of the development process used by Imagineers for these more revolutionary concepts. After regular testing, this allows Imagineers to gauge guest interests and feedback as how to improve the experience. We've seen character technology playtests before. You may remember Talking Mickey Mouse, which was at the Town Square Theater for many years. Well, that was playtested first on a temporary basis. Tinkerbell first appeared in her lantern in the test. She then flew around the room and then landed in a device of her own invention that allowed her voice to be amplified so the guests could hear her. She was fully interactive and addressed the children by name. Many projections were used, including writing in a book, butterflies around the room, all these things. I obviously am not the biggest fan of projection technology when it doesn't make sense. This is one of those occasions where projection technology is kind of magical and you can do things you can't do in real life, like have a tiny Tinkerbell actually talk to your family. This is fantastic. I hope this works out and we get to see this in the park someday. A series of policy changes indicate that California may soon allow out-of-state guests who are fully vaccinated to visit Southern California's many theme parks. As noted by Twitter user Leslie Harvey, California's blueprint for a safer economy was updated without fanfare on April 19th. An addendum to the document states that fully vaccinated persons from out of state may visit or attend activities or events that are restricted to in-state visitors. SeaWorld San Diego, which reopened on April 12th, is now allowing out-of-state guests who can provide proof of full vaccination to enter the park. According to MousePlanet.com, they received a statement from Disneyland Resort, quote, "Until further notice, only California residents may visit our parks in line with the current state guidelines." Now, a spokesperson for the California Department of Public Health has confirmed to In-Park Magazine that, quote, "Fully vaccinated people from out of state are now permitted to participate in activities restricted to in-state visitors." And according to Scott Gustin, this announcement from the CDPH does include theme parks. However, like just said, Disneyland said they're not changing their policy. Universal Studios Hollywood came out and said they're not changing their policy yet either, but stay tuned for updates. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen. But in a world where the government says it's okay, we would have to imagine we are days away from an announcement that fully vaccinated individuals can go to these parks. So we will see what happens. Obviously, stick with us here. We'll let you know as soon as we know. Of course, Universal Studios Hollywood reopened to guests on April 16th, California residents specifically. Disneyland set to reopen to them on April 30th, both Disneyland Park and California Adventure. According to cast members at the Disneyland Hotel, the hotel grounds will be open to all guests during the day before being restricted to hotel guests only at night. In order to make this happen, new gates with scan-in entry are being constructed around the hotel property. Previously saw the temporary fencing being erected around the hotel, and we now know this is while the scanning gates are being constructed. The cast members said the hotel grounds would likely be open during Disneyland and California Adventure Park hours, but they were just speculating as to what the open access hours might be. The scanning gates will allow registered hotel guests to get inside at night after Disneyland Hotel closes to everyone else. The Disneyland Hotel does not currently have a reopening date, but this preparation is a good sign that we might be back inside soon. Of course, the Grand Californian is set to reopen on April 29th, and the theme parks reopen on April 30th. A new collection of apparel and merchandise is coming to Disneyland Resort to celebrate The Magic is Back in California. This collection includes tees for adults and kids, as well as a face mask. The design features Sorcerer Mickey and classic Disneyland lettering. The collection will also include a tumbler and 4 different pins. No pictures of those yet. These items will be available throughout Disneyland Resort beginning April 30th, reopening day. Guests will be able to find them in the Emporium at Disneyland Park, Elias & Company at California Adventure, and the Disneyland Resort Backlot Premier Shop in that park as well. Starting April 24th, Disneyland Paris will provide the convention center at Disney's Newport Bay Club to serve as one of the mass vaccination centers in the country for local authorities to distribute vaccines to the local community. The site will be open on weekends from 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and appointments can be booked on Doctolib. The vaccination center will be separate from the hotel and will be equipped and managed by the, I'm going to butcher this, the Seine-et-Marne Fire Department. I'm sure I read that completely wrong, which will oversee the logistics and operate the Vaccinodrome autonomously under the authority of the prefecture and the French health authorities. The SDIS aims to deliver 1,000 vaccinations every Saturday and Sunday, according to prevailing government guidelines. Disneyland Paris will provide the location necessary to carry out the operation. It's part of the country's wider efforts in the national vaccination campaign and is a continuation of Disneyland Paris's efforts to support the local community in the past year. At today's Greater Orlando Airport Aviation meeting, a floor map schematic revealed new offerings coming to MCO's Terminal C. Among them, a new Walt Disney World Resort store, a new Universal Studios store, and a second Wine Bar George location revealed for Level 2 of the new Terminal C, which has yet to open. The screenshot of the map shows the new stores and restaurants. Also included in Terminal C, lots of other things that probably don't matter to you at home, but there's like a SeaWorld store, Provisions by Cask and Larder, Sunglass Hut, Shake Shack, Annie Ann's, which we voted the best pretzel in Orlando, by the way, on WDW News Tonight. So keep that in mind. Go watch the Pretzel Death Match on a recent episode of News Tonight. It was a good one. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, The Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next trip. The best part, their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. The Vacationeer, the official travel agency of WDWNT. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. Also, we are slowly ending our time here in the iDrive studio, which we've had since the summer of 2019. We're going to be moving. I can't tell you where just yet. But our last 2 episodes of News Tonight from this studio are happening this Thursday and next week. Make sure you tune in for those. We will, beyond April 29th, we will have, this show will still be from here until we finally move all this equipment on out of here. So please make sure you tune in for those last News Tonight shows. I think they'll be pretty memorable. And as well, don't miss Timekeeping, please. We're putting a lot of work into our Timekeeping show, which chronicles the history of the Walt Disney World Resort year by year from 1971 all the way to now. We just released 1983. And it's right here on the YouTube channel. Please go watch them. We're hoping to find a wider audience for them. I just hit that. Hoping to find a wider audience for them, and we hope you'll be a part of it. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Now let me into California, please. I would like to go to Disneyland.
Pressing Issues is the spin-off of the WDW News Today podcast segment as a long-form panel discussion in which some of the brightest minds of WDWNT analyze the biggest stories of the week and their impact on the Walt Disney Company, its parks, guests, and cast members. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or afterward on the WDW News Today podcast feed.